When legal aid is required, what you need most is someone you can trust, as we find out in this next story.
When you're seriously injured in a major collision or involved in a train, truck, slip and fall, violent act, or workplace negligence, it's important that you hire an attorney who you can trust. That's when it's time to call Holland Law.
I'm Jamie Holland, and I'm a lawyer who principally represents people who've either had brain injuries because somebody did something wrong, or somebody's been injured because the railroad has caused an injury. Ever since the movie Concussion, many people realize how serious brain injuries are. And the medicine has finally caught up where we can actually prove these brain injuries. And as a result, the law has caught up with the medicine, where many of these cases are successful in court, whereas 10 years ago they weren't.
Jamie is dedicated to assisting the seriously injured through the difficult process of obtaining compensation.
I was a paralegal doing pre-litigation, litigation, family law, just all sorts. But the third crash was the really bad one where I sustained the brain injury. How it affected my life and my work. When I went back to work, I couldn't even do a simple thing like a notice of hearing, which was a very simple thing. You can't see a brain injury. It affected me socially, it affected me with my family. I lost parts of time. It is very important, absolutely, definitely important, to find an attorney who understands a brain injury, understands your other injuries as well. Because if you don't, you're lost. You get very frustrated if you don't have an attorney that understands what you're going through. And Jamie understands. He knows exactly. It's almost like he's in my head.
The other issue that I've done for over 30 years is represented people that have been injured on the nation's railroads, whether they've been workers working on the railroad, or whether they've been passengers on the trains, or whether they've been simply coming up to a railroad crossing where the gates didn't work and they got struck by a train. Those are the principal areas where I practice.
Jamie and his team at Holland Law are here to tirelessly pursue the compensation you deserve.
So a traumatic brain injury, or like we've discussed, a TBI, can be identified as just a general injury to the brain, but some more common acronyms that we hear are PTSD, depression, anxiety, brain fog, ADHD, and the like. So other diagnoses can be directly related to TBI, and again, someone like me can help not just identify that, but then provide therapy to help them. It's essential for an attorney to have access to people like me and other professionals that treat TBI, essentially because those types of injuries can't be seen. So they typically go untreated and unidentified, and thus cause a very significant struggle for the client, and then makes the case more complicated for that person to have a peaceful process in figuring out what to do next.
So while they can't promise the results of a case, they can help deliver the best possible outcome.
When you're talking about today's modern juries, you have to consider where do they get their information and how. Most of the time, it's on an iPad. That's where they're looking, or even a smaller version, the iPhone or a Surface, laptop. Well, I try to replicate that. Why? Because it keeps their attention. And it also recreates the same flow of information to them that they have in their everyday life. This is my iPad on wheels. It's a 70-inch smartboard that I have set up like an iPad. So when I want to take a jury and I want to focus their attention on exactly what I'm talking about, I bring it and focus it interactively using my iPad. That's advocacy in the modern world. There are different approaches to the law. One is a lot of cases, a large volume, and run the practice like a business. The other is a smaller practice, a more specialized practice, where I know all my clients on a first-name basis. They know me on a first-name basis. It is a relationship, and it's built upon trust and a reputation. And as a result, it gives me the chance to get to know them better. And as a result, I can fight their fight from a personal standpoint.
For more information about Holland Law, visit holland.law or go to our website, thebalancingAct.com.